All right, y'all. You know how we do. Let's get it in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your oh shit, what happened? To your favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Okay, I fumbled the start. Whatever. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Today, I'm going to finally talk about the SAG strike, talk about my thoughts, why I think it's happening, why I think it happened, where it's going to go. I love this. I love 90 Day Fiancé, and there's this one before the 90 Day. These cast of characters are just, it's crazy. And of course, other news and notes around the world. But welcome back to You know, I got to warm my voice up before I just come on here. You know what I mean? I got to get my shit together. Anyways, welcome to Riffin with Griffin, your favorite podcast. What's it all about? You know, I riff with Griff. Sometimes it's a comedy, sometimes it's serious, but it's always authentically 100% me. Thank you for new people that have never come before. I appreciate you, and all the loyal followers. I appreciate you guys as always. So what you might want to do is hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. And then I'm on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch, Erik Griffin Gaming. I game all the time. I love it. I have a lot of really loyal fans there. We've been going strong since the pandemic. So you can be a subscriber. And if you want to support the show, you could be a YouTube member. You could be a Twitch subscriber. Or you could join the Patreon, which any one of those ways you want to help financially support the show, I appreciate that greatly. And upcoming this weekend, y'all, make sure you guys check me out I will be at the Jacksonville Comedy Zone. So come check me out in Jacksonville this weekend, September 7th through the 9th. Go to ericgriffin.com for tickets to go to the Jacksonville Comedy Zone website. I'll see you, Florida. Come and check me out. All right. Anyways, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin, y'all. What's going on this week? First, I want to thank our sponsors of the show. I want to thank DoorDash. Go to DoorDash and put in code RWG for Riffin with Griffin. Shop DoorDash to get everything you need for back to school season delivered right to your door. And you're going to get 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more. Promo code Riffin with Griffin. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you, DoorDash. All right. So, guys, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. We are here. We are doing what we do, as always. What's going on this week? I'm going to Jacksonville, so I'm looking forward to that. Pregnancy is coming along. Great. I'm excited. You know what I'm really looking forward to? I can't wait to get my kid a Captain America shirt, and so we can go out, father and son, Captain Americas. The little things you're looking for. You know what I don't understand about, you have all these pregnancy apps that'll help you, day 130 of the pregnancy. And then it tells you, your baby is the size of an apple. Every day there's, a new fruit. And at first I thought it was, to scale. And I'd be like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. It starts as a lime. So you think they would go like this. It should go lime, lemon, orange, grapefruit. That seems like the progression. But this sucker's all over the place. So one week it was like a sweet potato, okay? Sweet potatoes, what size sweet potatoes? Sweet potatoes are big. I just bought some sweet potatoes. Them suckers are huge. And then it was, then it went to then it was like a banana. I was like, wait, hold on a second. A banana ain't bigger than a sweet potato. What are we talking about here? We talking about length, width, girth? What are we talking about? So I don't understand the fruit thing. It's just like, it needs to be like a more consistent track. Like, something you understand. When it goes, it's a pea, it's a cherry, it's a strawberry. That seems to be like, okay, well, it's getting bigger, all right. But when they start doing this, like sweet potato, baked potato, banana, now I'm like, okay, y'all just messing with me now. This ain't real. So I don't know. You parents out there, how did you keep track? And what was it? It's just because for me right now, I cannot keep track. I don't know what's happening with this. Yeah. So that's nothing more to report. Rachel gets sick some days, and some days she's great. But one thing is she has to eat. She's not feeling well. I know. Then now we know it's like we gotta get some food in her, because then she eats, and then right away she's like, oh, I feel a lot better. And then she's ready to go do stuff. So it's she hasn't been going to work, and so now it's like she's about to go start that again, and then decide if she wants to do it or not. It's one of those things. You just have to see how you feel. Not everybody's in the position she is to, like, she could just go see if she could do it. If she can't, then that's gonna be the wrap. That's a wrap on that. But it's just one of those things. I think it's like good to stay busy and moving and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. And then I'm trying to start my workout journey, which is like, whew, man, it's tough. It's just tough. I don't know why. It's like so easy just to not do it, right? It's just easy just to, like, even if you try to, like, okay, I'm not going to eat as much. I'm going to, like, but it's like, yes, diet is super important. The most important part about maintaining your health and weight. But then the exercise part is important for heart health and all that kind of stuff. And it's just so easy just to be like, I don't want to do it. So I don't know. I'm really trying to challenge myself because I just want to be, I want to be in better shape, man. I just do. I don't know. So somebody said in the chat, the fruit thing is mainly so you could take a photo of that fruit in front of the belly to track their size. I mean, but it's like, I don't believe it. It just seems like it's all nonsense. But since we're doing that, let's go to the comments, guys. It's comment time. And if you have a comment, I have the Q&A up. This time I did it early, so you don't see me typing it. But even though I'm talking about it, so it's even worse. So the comments, you want to be a part of the show, you write a comment on the thing. I actually should go look at the Apple comments too sometimes. But please, actually it helps when you comment and give good reviews there. Give me some good stars there and review. That helps the algorithm and more people listen to the podcast, so I appreciate that. All right, so let's see. Comments this week. I hate when people don't have a real name, when people just have a dumb name. It's like if your name is username, like, you're worthless. Make an effort, man. Make an effort. All right, so we got Nibbles, stupid name, .biscuits 4270. Hate you all. Can't believe I didn't see this earlier. Good energy from Erik, subbed, and looking forward to watching more. Woo, woo, woo. So I appreciate that. I like reading those because it's like, I love when new people come to the podcast. I hate when people don't spell my name right, though. And this is one of those user whatever. I'm not even going to read it. Forget it. So then I put up a post about that, the guy that had sex with the cow. And then ROH hypnotist, yeah, 6263. The rule, don't play with your food, applies here. Ha! Funny. Let me give you a little star there. I like that. Ninja Jake, I listened to this episode on Spotify. I laughed out loud when you said cow style instead of doggy style. Yeah, the cow thing was funny to me. I don't know. And then let's see, we got no, not gonna, I had a good one ready to go. Yeah, so if you want to write a comment, I'll look for it. So this guy Marlon Stallings 5229 said, Erik, I challenge you to 100 incline push-ups a day for the whole month of September. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll consider it. Incline push-ups. What are those? Those are like ones that are on like it's not like direct push-ups like you're on the stairs or something like that. Is that what that is? I don't know. Then there's a guy 93TJ Fresh. He goes, I don't trust AI. I mean, that's like a common thing. That's actually a common feeling I think people have. But I say don't be old. I think AI is something that we're gonna have to embrace. I think it's gonna change our world. It already has. It actually already has been used. We just now realizing that what it is, man. It's just changed our world, man. It's changed our world. Use it as a tool. It's a tool, man. All search engines are going to be AI, and it's better, in my opinion, because of the follow-up questions. So, but I get it. I get why you don't trust AI. Trey Smith, 2490. I watched Champion a couple months ago, I believe, on Peacock. Literally one of the best movies made in a long time. That's the kind of movie we need right now. You know what? I'm going to tell you, and I didn't talk about this last week. So if you haven't watched Champions, it's with Woody Harrelson. It's about this like basketball coach. He's an assistant, but he's got a gruff attitude. He gets into a DUI. He gets a DUI, and the judge sentences him to work with these special needs kids to coach them at like a community center. He has to coach them for like 90 days. And you could just guess what happens. You know what I mean? But the thing that I like about it is it's like, yes, you have this movie and the stars of the movie are people with disabilities, Down syndrome, whatever they belong in this movie because the movie's about them. You know what I mean? And their stories, and they all have like different stories, and it's great. This ain't this kind of like stuff where you go, you have like a movie, and then you make a character different to like appease the people out there who think they're good people because they watch this. No, every walk of life deserves to have a story told, and you don't have to change the story, or you know what I mean? It's like it's delicate, but I just think make more movies like this, you know, make more movies, you know, it's like just make more movies for everyone, you know, and then you just watch it if you want to watch it. You know, it's like you tell everyone's story. Just because you don't relate to the person in the story doesn't mean it's not a valuable story. You know, just make good stories. That's all. Have some artistic integrity. Make good stories. It's like anytime I can feel the diversity meeting, you know, and that's mostly Disney right now. It's just like, what are you doing, man? Just make this story. If this is a mid-century white family, then it's okay that they're all white. It's okay everybody in this movie is white. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? I don't know. It's just that go watch Champions is the point. I'm on a rant that I'm not even making sense to myself. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Wait, there was a comment I wanted to read. I wanted to get the person's name because he, you know, he called me out on something, and it was just really funny because I did say it wrong. Anyway, I was doing my football reviews last week, and so the I believe that the running back from the Jets, his name is Breece Holmes. I think that's his name, right? And I said Priest Holmes last week, which is like an old school Chiefs running back. So the guy was like, calling me out, like, man, you made me laugh. And then when I think about it, it makes me laugh too. I don't even know if I even said the guy's name right now, but I wasn't a Jets fan. Who follows the Jets? The only reason why I'm even following the Jets now is because we're following the Jets because freaking Patrick Mahomes is there, right? And then we have somebody that says somebody needs to count. Oh, I already read that comment. That's a comment from last week. But anyways, thanks for the comments, guys. You know, be a part of the show. Write a comment, and we'll see what happens there. So I appreciate all that energy. You know what? Let me pop out the chat so I can. Oh no, wait, no, I'm gonna leave it there. It is what it is. All right, let me just real quick here. Let me go to the Q&A section, see if anybody has put any questions in. Yes, they have. I just became a big sister with BBBS. Any advice from a grown-ass man? I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. Do I have to Google that? We'll get back to that one. Have you watched Righteous Gemstones? No, it's not. I haven't watched it because for any like reason. It's just there's so many shows on the air. It's like I always say shows are like relationships, and I'm not trying to get into another relationship just yet. Let's see. Talk to me yet. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that movie. I haven't seen that movie yet, Jess. I don't know. I'm gonna see some movies this weekend when I'm in Jacksonville. I don't even know what that one is. Somebody said unknown person, Nicki Minaj and COD. So, Call of Duty, they always like license people's likenesses, and then you'll have that character in the game. So right now you could play as Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty. And she's got like a pink outfit with a big ass booty. Big ass booty. Okay. It's like, okay. They got 21 Savage. They got Snoop Dogg. They got Kevin Durant. You could, you buy these blueprints for these players. And that always works. The store on Call of Duty always works. The game, there's always some nonsense. But the store, you can count on the store. All right, anyways. So, yeah, we're back. You know what? This is a good time just to go right into our sponsor, DoorDash, guys. DoorDash. I want to thank them. I want to thank DoorDash for being a sponsor. First of all, right now, back to school is here. It's something I'm going to have to look forward to in coming years. And you could cross everything off your list by going right to DoorDash. Anything you forgot to get, you get from DoorDash. It's not just food. It's not just picking up stuff from a restaurant. Now you can order things that you need. You're looking for a gold star, get it all back to school hack. The first day back is almost here. And so are the long list of essentials your kids need for class. With DoorDash, you can find everything you need all in one place. Obviously, I love getting DoorDash because, you get everything you need. Actually, I just ordered like a ream of paper. That's the kind of things you need. You need like, printer ink, whatever. There's certain stores you can order from. It's right there on DoorDash. I love DoorDash. I use it. You should use it too. Use code RWG. That's Riffin with Griffin. Shop DoorDash to get everything you need for back to school season delivered right to your door. Order now for stress-free back to school shopping. Use promo code RWG to get 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more at convenience, grocery, or retail stores on DoorDash. That's 50% off up to $10 value when you spend $15 or more. Promo code RWG. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, guys, let's get into some stuff. All right, so one of the things I wanted to get into, let's go to this. I don't know if you guys watch 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know if you watch 90 Day Fiancé. I love 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know if you know the concept of 90 Day Fiancé, but it's simple. So you have like these people who met, they don't live in the same country. They have this like whirlwind romance, and one of them wants to move to the United States. And the only way you can move is you have to get a work visa or you have to get a marriage visa, and you have 90 days to do that. That's why they call it 90 Day Fiancé. That was the original show. So they follow these people, and it's always like, now the first few seasons, most of the couple's weird as hell, right? And it's like the kind of couple where it's like fat guy, really good looking woman from another country, or vice versa. Fat girl, really good, slim looking guy. And then you kind of go, okay, what is this? And then occasionally they'll have like that couple that you feel like, oh, okay, they look like they belong together. But then there's some other drama with it. And then what they started to do is they made like 90 Day Fiancé, after the 90 days, before the 90 days. They have this one right now, 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort. And it's about like these couples from all these shows and how they're trying to work out their troubles at a resort, right? So it's like The Last Resort. It's at a resort. Then there's like counseling and couples therapy and all this stuff. And it's just so fascinating. This is one of the more fascinating reality TV series that you could watch, just watching crazy people be crazy. But this one is something else. This 90 Day Fiancé. So this one is, so first they had 90 Day Fiancé, and it's usually someone from a foreign country and they're moving to the United States. Okay. That was 90 Day the Other Way. That one's always like, what? Sometimes you got people going to some weird country where you're just like, why would you want to live there, right? I don't know. It's one thing if like, it's not like, it's never 90 Day the Other Way and you're moving from the United States to Paris, you know? Or it's like you're moving to London or you're moving, it's never that. It's usually never that. It's usually like you're going from like, you know, the United States and then you're going to like some little town in Colombia where they don't have running water. And you're like, why would you do that? So it's just that part of it's crazy. But this one, before the 90 days, this is like they've talked, they've met, and now they're trying to figure out if they want to do the 90-day visa thing. And I just want to talk about how weird these couples are, you know, how weird. So this is like three of the main couples on this one. Where is it now? Okay, so you have this first couple right here. So this is the girl first. Her name is Amanda, 31. Now, Amanda, her husband tragically died, and she got 2 kids. She falls for this guy that lives in like some foreign country, right? And you know, this guy right here, and this guy's name is Razvan, whatever his name is. You know, and I think he's a really nice guy, right? He comes across as a nice guy, but there's issues. Like she keeps comparing him to her dead husband. And then he's talking about, well, I'm an actor and I want to go to the United States to be an actor. And she's like, well, are you going to get a job? You know, because my ex-husband was a waiter. He supported himself. And then, you know, and he's like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to be an actor. So it's like, and then she keeps talking about her ex-husband. So she goes like, she flies all the way to where he lives. Wait, where does he live? He's in Romania. So she flies to Romania and he's like trying to smash. You coming to Romania. Let's get it in. And she's like, I feel like I'm cheating on my dead husband. And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So they're like a really weird ass couple. And then she's kind of mean, but he kind of was fed up with it in the last episode I saw. He was like, you know what? I'm done with this. You know, he just shut her down, you know, and then now she's like, oh, actually, this guy's a really nice guy. What am I doing? So we'll see what happens. And she went to go meet his family. So it's just, that's a weird couple. This guy, so this dude, he met some chick from Vietnam, right? And so they're talking, you know, it's all this texting and talking and FaceTiming for years or whatever, how long it is, right? He don't trust her. He hires a private investigator. My feeling is, this is the girl. My feeling is, if you are talking with someone from long distance and you don't trust them, and to the point where you have to hire a private investigator, get out of that relationship. This ain't for you. Unless maybe we all should be doing this. Unless every relationship you get into, you should hire a private investigator. That's kind of like what social media is anyway. Like, you know, it's like when you would look at somebody's Facebook profile, or, you know, when you meet someone, you go to Instagram and you start looking at all their pictures. You say, who is this person? Facebook, I believe, was better than that because people had to put more information on Facebook. You could be like, oh, you went to college, you work here, you've done this, you have like a little bit more. It's like a little dossier. But like, damn, if you have to hire a private investigator, it's like, I don't think that's going to work. They are a weird ass couple and they're always fighting. Now this dude, man, I don't know what's up with this dude, but I believe this he might be on the spectrum, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you don't come out with that, look, if you're autistic, even a little bit, and you just go out and you meeting people and you got weird quirks, you got to open with I'm autistic to me, because then now I know what's up, you know? It would be like if you're blind, or no, even better, you're deaf. Let's say you're deaf and you just go to the bar, you know, and you just like, you know, hey, what, you know, you just, and people are like, hey man, you want something to drink? And you're not saying nothing, you know, and then people are like, what's up with you? Why are you acting like that? And, you know, and you just like, it's like, you got to be like, I'm deaf. And then people would go, oh, okay. They would act accordingly. They would be like, all right. Or they would show their true colors that they're an asshole. But it's like, you can't just be autistic and out here in the streets and like act. If you have quirks, that are not like that cause some disruption, you got to say something, okay? That's just I don't know. Maybe I'm completely off base. But what I'm saying is, if you don't want to say anything, don't be surprised if people treat you a certain way. If people are like put off by this or whatever it is. I just think that sharing that information could you find out who people are, to me. I think it's going to be like, give people an opportunity to be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this, and I give you some grace. But anyways, so this guy, he acts like he's a player, and he's like, I'm always talking to people. So I don't know what his story is, right? He's Christian 30 from like, I keep doing this, so let's keep it like this so you guys can see more as I look at the thing, right? I just hate that these other ads are on there. Christian, self-proclaimed life of the party, he says, right? So, all right, speaking of autistic, his girl, okay, Cleo, she is transgender. So that's like a whole thing. And she's this sort of introverted, like, how does she describe herself? Oh, it's in the last picture. She describes her, Cleo, an autistic and neurodivergent trans woman. I don't even know what that is. Neurodivergent. Okay. All right. Whatever. It's different. It's all this buildup about their relationship. This dude, he always talking to other women at bars, right? And then like they finally have sex, you know? And then that's a whole thing. And then she got a friend who just don't like him, don't trust him. I mean, it's a whole thing. But it's like they're like the weirdest couple. Because you're like, okay. This is one of these things where the guy's like, because I don't know if Cleo is like fully has done everything, you know? So, and he's kind of like, all right, me too. I don't even know how they met. Like when they met, were they talking, and he seems to be okay with it. So it's like, whatever. But it's like their interactions are so bizarre is what I'm really trying to get at. Forget the fact that she's autistic, she's a trans, and he's weird. You know, I don't even know if he's autistic, but he's just weird. And then their interactions make for like comedy, man. It's so bizarre. You got to check that out, all right? This guy, oh my God, David from Nebraska. He's deaf, okay? But this guy is the sweetest guy. Like, I'm pulling for this guy, right? But he meets this chick, Sheila, 31 from the Philippines. Let me tell you something. Appreciate everything you have, man. This chick is poor, okay? Like he went to the Philippines to meet her, and she is living in squalor, man. Like, they practically are living in tents. Like, it's the craziest situation. And he's so sweet. He genuinely cares for her. And it's like, I'm pulling for this couple. And I'm pulling for her, like and she's got a kid, and then the kid, he don't want to move to the United States. It's like, what? Dude, this is the one couple I'm pulling for in this situation. And then you got this chick, Misha, 43. She got 2 fine-ass daughters. You know what I mean? She must have had them when she was young. She's a good-looking woman, too. They all like, it's crazy, right? So she, like, converted. She's one of these born-again Christian types. So she was like, you know, she an ex-ho. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. Misha, an ex-ho. And then she meets this 43-year-old dude from Israel. So he's in Israel, and he's a Christian, okay? And he's a virgin. Because he's like, I am not going to. They've been talking for 7 years. Finally met, and it is the most awkward. It's sweet and awkward, okay? It's like so crazy, their relationship. And it's like, then you have this issue with this the language barrier is always so crazy. Like, even with the deaf guy, with David and this girl, Sheila, their relationship is weird because she has a hearing issue, but she can still hear and talk, right? He is completely deaf. and they've been talking over the phone and thing. Now he wants her, hey, you need to learn how to sign, because he's like talking with his, you have to just watch it. That one is like heart-wrenching. Sometimes it's heartbreaking, and sometimes it's very heartwarming. I don't know. I'm pulling for David, but this Misha and Nicola, this relationship is crazy, man. How you a virgin at this age? He 43 years old, virgin. What? Like, what? Let's just leave it at that. Then you have this girl, Statler from Texas, and she's a lesbian and totally into British women. That's her whole thing. And she's a little weird. She got she's so awkward as hell. And then her woman is this woman, Dempsey. And this chick live out in London. She don't live in London. She live out in the countryside with no warm water. Like, bitch, what are you talking about, man? It's 2023. Get some warm water, man. I can't stand it. These kind of like country ass people. Whatever. So now the girl, the Statler girl, she is into British women. And so they've been talking for a while, a year, 7 months, whatever. They're in love. She goes to visit her. The girl's kind of uncomfortable about sex so far, at first, and then she opens up, and then so now they're having this whirlwind romance. But the one chick she goes, listen, my lease is up. I want to move in with you, and that's where they're at. And it's kind of weird. Y'all only know each other for 7 months, and they're so different in terms of they're like one's sort of introverted, and the other one's like. The girl that's coming from the United States, she's like, yeah, I love sex. Let's have sex in the open. Let's have sex in a barn. Let's have, and the other one's like, well, hold on a second. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And the last one is this dude, another dude who's like, he might be autistic also, because his personality is so quirky and he's with. This guy don't even have a lot of money, right? He don't even have a lot of money. And this girl, Jasmine, they've been talking for a while, and she's like, yo, I want to come to the United States, and he's not even rich, but he's paying for her luxury apartment in Panama. And then she live in a building with her ex. Her ex live in this building too. Like, it's so crazy. They're always fighting. Like, they had this big fight on the thing where they were fighting, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to go have sex with my ex because he knows how to get me on. Like, she's like one of those chicks that, like, when they're in a fight, she goes for the jugular. I can't be with somebody like that. Like, if you in a fight and you say the worst thing you could possibly say, you've been holding on to that. I don't like that. That's out of pocket. But it also leads to passion. But anyways, this show, I didn't even know I was going to go get into it like that. Oh, man. But yeah, somebody said things are moving fast is not unusual for lesbian relationships. That's true. You hear that. That's the stereotype of lesbian relationships, is that they move real fast, right? But that one was just like, I don't know. The girls really seems to like. So I do have some news stuff that I wanted to sort of get into real quick. So my Instagram stories of the week, and then some of them are kind of weird and like kind of scary, actually. So this first one was a retired school teacher sentenced to death in Saudi Arabia over several tweets. A court in Saudi sentenced a 54-year-old retired teacher to death over tweets criticizing corruption and human rights violations. I mean, we talk about free speech in the United States, and we talk about how important it is. And, of course, we think the whole world should be like this. And it really isn't. It's not. It is not. And so to have some American-based company like Twitter or X, whatever the dude's changing it to. And, we tried to like put our values and our belief systems on the rest of the world because we're sharing, information through this app. Doesn't mean we're right. Not that I'm condoning this at all. I'm saying this is terrible, right? And yes, people should have freedom of expression. And like, if the person's tweeting about stuff that's real, it's like, yo, change, right? But damn, you sentence people to death for saying something? Man, we're living in strange times, man. and then we're still waiting to hear. I don't think Elon Musk has even said anything about this yet, but this is terrible. I hope that I have to do a follow-up story on this, but this is just some appreciate being in the United States, because there's people that live in the United States that just love hating on the United States. They think, oh, we're the most racist place. We're the most this. Let me tell you something right now. We're not the most racist country on earth. We are not the most sexist country on earth. We're not the most homophobic country on earth. You better wake up. When people say that, I know this. They've never traveled. They've never read a news article about other places, man. Not to say that, we're the best in terms of, we need to work on our stuff, but we are far ahead of a lot of places, man. We got work to do, but I'd rather be here working on it than any place else. Crazy story. Next one is, I love this new law. I think that this is great, and I think they should apply this law to it everywhere in the United States and for more than just DUI, drunk driving. So a new Texas law requires drunk drivers to pay child support if they kill a parent or guardian. Hell yeah. Right? This seems to be duh. I hope they do this. This is something I think, people talk a lot about Texas and, if, it's if you're liberal, it's well, Texas is, Republic, whatever, man. Forget about the left and right politics. Let's just talk about what's right and wrong. And this is one of those things I think that is super. This is in the right direction. Make it a deterrent. This is a huge deterrent, right? So forget about. It's almost like this. You do something horrible. It's not even going to jail. I think it's a kind of thing. You want to talk about some work release? It should be you have to now work for the rest of your life and pay for this kid's, college or whatever too. You have to. They're now your kid. You're now responsible for them because of what you've done. You know what I mean? Forget prison. Forget throwing somebody away and forgetting about them and taking, and all the human rights violations that go on in prison. No, put these motherfuckers to work. That's what they need to do. So I like this, all of this, Yeah, exactly. I know it's see, now you get somebody said, what if you use a gun? That's a whole thing too. I mean, I think it doesn't matter. I'm saying if you are the cause of the death of someone and they have kids, you should now be financially responsible for them kids. Make sure that they have the best life they can because of what you've done, no matter how you did it. I like that. I don't know. Whatever you guys say. Okay. I know you guys heard about this story right here. Listen, I've had to go to the bathroom on a plane before. I was on a plane one time, and this dude sitting next to me. So I'm smelling something, and I'm like, oh, man. Because people always fart on a plane. You just crack one off when you crack one off. What are you supposed to do? You can't get up. The seatbelt sign's on. You got to fart. It's just kind of a thing where everybody on the plane knows, all right, somebody farted, and you're not going to talk about it. So I'm smelling this. It's worse than a fart. I'm looking at my shoes. Did I step on some stuff outside before I came into the plane? And I'm looking at this dude, and, this dude turned on his air. And I'm like, oh, this dude farted. And then the dude gets up. And when he gets up and sort of turns his cannon towards, I realized the dude shit himself. I know he did. Okay? He went to the bathroom, and he's just crop dusting the whole plane. And I'm just like, oh, man. When he comes back, I was giving him that look like, I know what you did. You know what I mean? So this situation, a flight from Atlanta forced to turn around after pilot labels passengers' diarrhea a biohazard. Dude, when you have to go, you have to go. But damn. And I don't know all the stuff that's coming out. We don't know if this is true. And I got this from one of my favorite Instagram accounts I follow, Puberty, Pubity. Give them a follow. I love them. I mean, when you had the dude had to go, and he was probably trying to get to the bathroom, and it was spilling out his pants. They're not saying who the person is, and so then it was just diarrhea all up. I mean, damn. What do you do? What would you do? It's like, what if it's one of them situations where it's like they're like, okay, sir, please sit down. What if the flight attendant was doing that? You can't get up right now, and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So what we doing? Okay, so I'm either gonna do it here at my seat, or you're gonna have to let me go to the bathroom. And then he was trying to get to the bathroom and didn't make it. And so you can't clean that up on a plane. There's no like maid service you could call. And then the captain probably the flight attendant probably went to the captain. Yeah, we having a situation out here. And the captain was like, it can't be that bad. Probably opened the door and was like, you know what I mean? And then he's like, attention everybody. We had an accident in 27A, and it carried over to 4B. So we are turning this plane around. Because it's like, thank God it happened when it happened. Because what if they had been like, this is an 8-hour flight. What if they 4 hours in over the Atlantic Ocean, and it's like, oh my God. And then everybody starts throwing up. It turns into Stand By Me. Ugh. I feel bad for everybody on that plane. I feel bad for the person that this happened to. And thank goodness they're not calling that person out. Thank goodness it's not pictured that, Shitty McGee isn't being like put on blast everywhere, So, but anyways, those are the weird stories of the week. But let's get into something that I wanted to talk about, which is, wait, what's going on here? Wait, let me see. Oops. Wait, what's going on? Oh, I see. I have to do this. Okay. I got to turn this off. Wait, how come this isn't? I don't know why it's not. Oh, you know what? This always does is I have to go blank and then go here. There it is. All right, guys. So finally, I'll close the podcast off. I'll give them my thoughts about the SAG-AFTRA strike, which does affect me. So SAG-AFTRA is on strike, and a number of reasons that they're on strike are wage increases. SAG-AFTRA is seeking a 11% wage increase retroactive to expiration of the previous contract in July 2022. Residuals. SAG is also seeking improved residuals for streaming projects. Okay, and protection against artificial intelligence, AI. Because partly they were trying to, use AI. Like, let's say they take a picture, they use your likeness, and they could just put you in as an extra in the background of a scene, and then they never have to pay you. It's like they buy your likeness. So why do I think this is happening? Why do I think we're on strike? Why do I think this happened? It's nuanced, as you know I like to say. It's a nuanced thing about, I think that the business has moved, the business has changed, and everyone involved in it hasn't changed with it. And I think that's what the biggest problem is. If you think back in the day, let's take a network like NBC, for instance. NBC would make a show, let's say a half-hour sitcom. They would make a show, the show's about 22 minutes, and they're going to sell 8 minutes of ads to fill a slot from, say, 8 p.m. to 8:30. That 8 minutes of ads. So then they would use ratings to let the advertisers know, hey, certain number of people are watching this show. We know advertisement works, so that's how they were able to charge for a show. So if you had a great show, and it was like if you got a big following, you had a show that got 10 million views a month, then the companies would be like, whoa, this is worth paying for ads. And then you have other deals that were cut. So then for the run of the show, there's this ad money that is coming, and that pays for everything. Okay? It pays for stuff. And then what would happen is a network like TNT, TBS, who doesn't necessarily make a lot of their own products, they would go, well, that was a hit show. Because what they found, and this happened way back in the day because of I Love Lucy, Rick, what's his name? Desi Arnaz, he figured this out. So Lucy was pregnant and she was like tired. So they were like, you know what? Just play the episode you've already played. And they were like, we can't do that. And then they did it and they got the same amount of views. So then they were like, what? So then that's what became syndication. So reruns, okay? And they know reruns work. So, but if you're selling ads for reruns, well, then people should make money. And that's what the system was. So then you would take a network like TBS, USA, some of these off networks when it was just cable, no streaming yet, just cable. And they would be like, all right, well, we're going to buy your show too. We're going to license your show for like, however long. And then actors, writers, producers would still generate profit that way because they also were selling ads. And then they also paid for the show. So then that was how it worked. We knew what a show was getting. We knew why a show would get canceled. And there was problems with that too, because you'd be like, well, give this show a chance to grow. And then it became a thing where, we got to cancel that show because it doesn't have the kind of views we want because it's too expensive to make, whatever it is like that, And that's how that went about. Okay, so cut to then Netflix started, and then Netflix was like, all right, well, we're going to buy products. So then they would be like, all right, we're, so this is a subscriber-based network, So they first they were like, it was like the DVD thing, they would like buy a movie or license a movie out and they would put it on their thing. And then, and then people were making, they had some kind of system where people were making money, But then Netflix was like, hey, let's start making our own stuff. But they were still buying stuff. And I believe that when Netflix licensed out a show, let's say a show like Workaholics, okay, then Workaholics would go on Netflix, but it was a certain amount of time. But I received money for that. It ain't a money you can live off of, but we received money for that. And by the way, Workaholics is a good example of networks going, oh, wait a minute, this is our product. We're just going to own it. And then, so like, this is what happened with Comedy Central. So like Comedy Central had Workaholics. And then they didn't sell it to another network. They were like, nah, this is our show. We're going to keep it here. People are watching it. We'll just keep it on. We'll just keep airing it on our network. Oh, it's coming on again. Well, that wasn't necessarily great for the actors based off the old system. Like, we would have wanted that to go to 100 episodes and then sell it to TNT. And now Workaholics is on TNT and then we're making money. They didn't do that. Networks were like, well, why should we do that? This is our show, right? So they cut to now Netflix is like this. They said, we're going to make our own shows. We're going to produce our shows and we're going to own them. That's the issue right there. And they started doing buyouts. Even in the commercial world, I've done many commercials. So if you do a commercial, you used to be able to make a lot of residuals. If it was played on a network show, the actors in those commercials would make money. It used to be you could buy a house with those residuals. SAG messed up a long time ago by not, cutting a better deal for digital and cutting a better deal for commercial work. That's a whole other issue, and that's also a part of the problem we're having now. SAG sucks. Okay, they were so arrogant about film, that they should have taken on digital. They didn't realize this technology was going to take over. But anyways, whole other issue. So then you would have a buyout. So let's say I do a car commercial, right? So if I did a car commercial, they would go, here's a buyout. We'll pay you $10,000 to be in this commercial, and it's going to air for a year. But here's the thing. If they aired the commercial past a year, they would have to pay you again. That's how that worked. It wasn't in perpetuity. That's what's wrong with Netflix. I'm just using them as an example. So Netflix is like this. We're going to pay you to make the show. We're going to pay you a buyout. But then they keep the show on the platform for as long as they want because they own it. So now we're sitting around being like, well, wait a minute. That's not how we used to do it. But the business has changed. That's the issue. And Netflix is a damn Ponzi scheme, really. Netflix has, I looked this up, all right? They have 238.39 million paid subscribers worldwide. Let's just say conservatively, everybody's paying an average of $10 a month for Netflix. That's $2 billion a month. Whoo! So, and they have to provide a service, and that service is content 24 hours a day. So now the actors union is like, well, wait a minute. But all the producers and actors and everyone agreed to take the buyouts. Oh, I'll do your show. It's $50,000 an episode. Sometimes they overpay. Sometimes they pay more than other networks would pay because they know there's going to be no residuals. Because they're like, all right, we're going to create your show. A sitcom, some of these shows and sitcoms, they're like $5 to $8 million an episode to make. So they're going, we'll make 10 episodes. We're going to front the bill. We're going to pay $80 million to make this show for 10 episodes. And we own it. It's ours. And we're going to put it on our platform. Okay? Now we're starting to see like, well, wait a minute. It's still on there? And we only got paid once? But that's the business. That's the, we have to just completely change the business. So now it's like going to be a thing where Netflix is going to be like, all right, okay, so all right, well, we're only going to keep your show on for 3 years, and then we had to take it off. Well, then what are they going to do with it? Then nobody sees it? I just don't know. That's the nuance of it. It's going to be so hard to like figure this out. So then it's going to be like Netflix will be like, okay, well then we'll sell it to another company. Or like, do you have to figure out some algorithm of like, all right, this is you get if your show continues to get this many views, you're going to get this amount of money of the subscription money. Like they have to figure something out. But the main issue is they shouldn't have done it like that. We shouldn't have said like, all right, in perpetuity, you own the show, and then that's it. You could keep it on the air for as long as you want. That's what it is. Now, I can tell you this right now. Netflix is going to an ad-based system. They're going to have ads, and it'll be like a cheaper price to get it, and then you have to watch ads through movies and stuff like that. Once that system starts, they'll probably pay proper residuals, okay? Because then the ad companies will be like, okay, well, we want ads on Wednesday, for instance, it got 30 million views, and it's still being watched. Then they'll be like, all right, people be like, we want ads on that show. Well, however that system's going to work, that's going to have to come into place, and then we'll see what happens. But for now, the business has changed, and we haven't changed with it. And then these other companies are going like this now. So now NBC, they're going to do like this. Okay, we're going to make a show, all right? We own it. It's our show. Then we're going to throw it on our streaming platform, Peacock, and then we're going to make – this is what always used to boggle my mind. You would pay for cable. So now I'm paying monthly for cable and I'm watching commercials. Listen to that. You are paying for cable and watching commercials. What? And they're going to ask you to pay for the streaming service to watch the show that you've already seen on the other thing. Crazy. This is all about greed, but it's never going to go the way the actors want. The actors and writers, we're never going to get what we want out of this. And right now, this is a big issue. For a company like Netflix, per se, they don't have to stop. They don't have to agree to anything. They're just going to be like, okay, stay on strike. Netflix is going to be like this. Stay on strike for as long as you want. Because guess what? When there's no new shows on NBC, CBS, ABC, USA, when all the new shows aren't being re-upped, when they're not being made right now, guess where people are going to go to watch entertainment? And that's what's happening right now. While no shows and movies are being made, people are on Netflix. And guess what? No one's canceling their subscription. If people cared about actors and writers and all that, they would be like, I'm canceling my subscription until you pay them properly. Are people doing that? No. If 20 million people said, we are no longer, I am putting my subscription on hold until you pay these actors and writers, should it be done like this? But that's not what's happening. In fact, they're probably getting more subscribers. Now, the people that are being hurt are places like Warner Brothers, because I heard this from Warner Brothers Discovery says it will take 300 million to 500 million hit in 2023 earnings due to the SAG strike, because the networks who are still on an old business model, they're like, hey, we have to provide content for our advertisers. The streaming people are like, we don't have to do that. We own these shows. So now the only way to me moving forward that this is going to work is if you're a production company or you're a creator of content with Netflix, your deal has to be, I need to get this amount of money, and you can only keep my product on your network for 3 years. Or however long. We're paying for this. And once that's done, I own my show back and I can sell it to wherever I want. Or I don't know. But it has to be something like that. And these other streaming services, they don't work. Paramount Plus is hemorrhaging money because nobody wants Paramount Plus. Okay? Like not 200 million people where it's profitable. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to do what Netflix is doing. We're going to have all these subscribers and all this money that's going to come in. We're going to make movies with that money. No, it doesn't work like that. Y'all should have sold your stuff to Netflix. Everybody was trying to be Netflix, and Netflix, they're one of a kind. They got to the market first and they won. Everyone else needs to just get on board. You know, the only other one that's like working like that is companies that have money from other revenue sources, like Apple and Amazon. Amazon got refrigerator money. They don't care about actors and all that stuff because they're getting their money from Prime. It's just an add-on. They're like, hey, pay, and that's what Apple does. Apple has this thing. So for $29 a month, you get the news. So you get all like Rolling Stone, Variety, LA Times, Washington Post. You get all that. You get what is it called? You can save storage for your phone. You know, you get storage for your phone. So 2 terabytes of storage for your phone. And you get Apple TV. So they don't care. They got phone money. They got Apple money. And people are paying this for Apple TV and whatnot because then they're like, okay, great. And here's the thing too. Apple's not dumb. They don't just let you binge. And that's the thing. I guarantee you, and I said this on my Rogan episode like 7 years ago, Netflix is gonna move to they're not gonna binge anymore. There's too many products on Netflix. So then that's how they'll be able to share more revenue is by not having so many products on at once. So it should be like this. Stranger Things, if there's 10 episodes, it should take 10 weeks to watch it. And then you could watch it, binge after that. And then you won't have to have as many products on the air. When you put the whole thing on and then in 3 weeks people are done, they're like, okay, what's next? I need to see more. That binging shit's going to go away because that's the only way. They need to have less products and then this revenue that's not going to go away because here's the thing. They still going to be making the $2 billion a month. Now they'll have more of that $2 billion instead of having to worry about creating new products. They can have more quality instead of quantity, and then pay the producers and actors and writers more money. That's what I think. There's more to it than that, but that's just my initial thoughts on it right now. I'm going to keep talking about this more. I'm going to get more educated on what's going on, but that's just where I see the initial problem right now is that the business has changed and neither side has changed with it, but the networks, they're still on an old model because they're still selling ads. They're still getting Spectrum money and all the money they get from the cable networks and stuff. So they have the money to be like, all right, if our show's going to be on the air, we're going to pay our actors. But like independent filmmakers and all these kind of people, they want shows. Like you're doing an independent film, you want people to watch your film. People aren't necessarily going to theaters to watch independent films. So you know where they have to go? They got to go to streaming places. So it's like that's a whole issue that we're going to figure out. But anyways, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching Riffin with Griffin. Stay tuned for more coming up, and we will keep you posted on that. But as you know how we do here on Riffin with Griffin with that rap recap. Make sure you subscribe. Keep the channel alive. And all that jive. Come to Twitch. Watch me game. I'm doing it for the fame. Everybody know my name. Woo! Patreon. It's bomb. Whatever. Rap recap. Step up and get slapped. SagAftra Strike. You know it ain't right. It's got a bite. There's no end in sight. I'm not making light. Like flying a kite. Woo! Any day the other way. My rap style slay. I don't play. Kicking the ball like Pele. The other way. I'm glad you stayed. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin. Stay tuned for more SagAftra news in the coming weeks. If you have a crazy story you saw on the internet and you want me to talk about it, send it to me on Instagram or email me at eric@ericgriffin.com. But go to my Instagram. You can just send me like a little link like, yo, Griff, look at this crazy thing. You got a show you want me to talk about, anything like that, I will. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I'll see you next week. Oh.